Good morning, my name is Dana James Armacido from BSMTS 1B2. So for today, I'm going to discuss the types of classes on IMDG code. There are 9 classes on IMDG code. First is Class 1 Explosives. There are 6 divisions on Class 1 Explosives. First one is 1.1 Substances and Articles which have a mass explosion hazard. 1.2 Substances and Articles which have a projection hazard but not a mass. 1.3 Substances and articles which have a fire hazard and either a minor blast hazard or a minor projection hazard or both, but not a mass explosion hazard. And 1.4 Substances and articles which present no significant hazard. 1.5 Very insensitive and substances which have a mass explosion hazard. 1.6 Extremely insensitive articles which do not have a mass explosion. Gases may be either compressed, liquefied, or refrigerated liquefied. Class 2 substances are grouped according to the primary hazard of the gas during transport. Namely, these are Class 2.1 flammable gases. Example of gases in this group includes butane and propane. Class 2.2 non-flammable or non-toxic gases. These gases are mostly asphyxiants, replacing oxygen in an atmosphere, oxidizing gases, that is, they contribute oxygen to a fire. Examples of gases in this group include nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. On Class 2.3 toxic gases, these gases are known to be or are suspected of being toxic or corrosive. Example of gases in this group includes chlorine and sulfur dioxide. You may also encounter dissolved gas, which is active package in a liquid solvent for a transport. And Class 3 includes flammable liquids which give off a flammable vapor at or below the flash point. Examples of such substances are allyl chloride Fp-29 degrees Celsius and benzene Fp-11 degrees Celsius. Liquid descends explosive which are dissolved or suspended in water or other liquid substances to form a liquid mixture to make them less dangerous. Examples of such substances are nitroglycerin solution in alcohol and nitrocellulose solution. Substances listed in Class 3 are generally regarded as a chemically pure flashpoint, may vary if the substances contain added substances or impurities. For flammable solids, substances liable to spontaneous combustion, substances which in contact with water emits flammable gases. Class 4 comprises of substances except of those classified as explosives, which readily catch fire or may cause or contribute to a fire. There are 3 groups on Class 4. These are Class 4.1, flammable solids, self-reactive substances, and some explosives, which readily catch fire and which may cause fire through friction. They may be fibers, powders, or pasty substances, and may be treated to suppress their explosive properties. Examples of some substances in these are magnesium powder and matches and jute. Class 4.2 substances liable to spontaneous combustion including mixture and solution which within 5 minutes of coming in contact with air or may heat up in contact with air. These substances will ignite only when in large amounts and after long periods of time. Examples of substances in this class are sodium sulfides and white phosphorus. On Class 4.3, substances which in contact with water are liable to become spontaneously flammable or to give off flammable gases in dangerous quantities. Example of substances in this class are ferrosilicon and aluminum silicate. In Class 5 comprises of 2 groups. Class 5.1 oxidizing substances will under certain circumstances produce their own oxygen. For this reason, oxidizing substances increase the risk and intensity of fire in combustible material with which they come into contact. Most oxidizing substances react violently with liquid acids creating gases. Example of substances in this class are hydrogen peroxide and sodium peroxide. On Class 5.2, organic peroxides are elevated temperature resulting in harmful or flammable gases or vapors. It is particularly important to avoid contact with ice at all costs. Example of substances in this class are organic peroxides class B to F. Substances in this class are probably among the most dangerous substances transported by ship. Class 6 it deals with toxic and infectious substances and it is made up of 2 groups. Class 6.1 Toxic substances are liable to cause death or serious injury if swallowed or inhaled by skin contact. It is important to keep all toxic substances away from foodstuffs. Many pesticides are toxic substances. Examples of substances in this class are arsenic or hydrocyanic acid and mercury compound. So on class 6.2, infectious substances are those known are expected to contain microorganisms including bacteria, viruses, parasites, fungi, and other agents which can cause disease in humans or animals. Examples of substances in this class are bio or medical waste and infectious substances affecting humans. On Class 7, radioactive material. Class 7, all radioactive materials are dangerous to a greater or lesser degree because they emit radiation, which is invisible and may damage body tissues. The carriage of radioactive materials involves special procedures and equipment, and those involved in handling radioactive materials receive specialist training. On Class 8, corrosive substances are those substances which by chemical reaction, it will cause severe damage when in contact with living tissue or in the case of leakage. It will materially damage or even destroy other cargoes or other framework of the ship. Examples of substances in this class are different types of acids and sodium hydroxide. On Class 10, miscellaneous dangerous substances and articles and environmentally hazardous substances. Class 10 covers substances and articles which present a danger not covered by other classes in the code. They include substances and articles which experience has shown to be similar to dangerous goods, substances that are transported at a very high temperature, and substances that are genetically modified microorganisms. Example of substances in this class are asbestos, fiber, fish meal or stabilized, and carbon dioxide or solid. Substances considered hazardous to the aquatic environment and considered together with Class 9 substances and articles for the purpose of classification under the code.